Hello, it's been a while. I've just been so busy and finding time to set everything up, gather all of my projects, and sit and talk about them for 20-30 minutes is not something I have a lot of time for right now. So here is what I have been making. I am drinking a peppermint mocha with some homemade peppermint mocha syrup. That was the flavor of this week. In this lovely mug that my sister got me years ago, which will come into play in a minute here. And then I am wearing, and actually this is a finished object, first time you're seeing it. This is my everyday duster by Knititude, and I did the striping on this. I did the striping on the sleeves, and it is color blocked. I'll put a couple pictures in here just so I don't have to stand up. And that is from Knititude's new book, Sweater Success, and I had the opportunity to test knit this sweater for this book, and if you have not already checked this out, it is a fantastic book. There's so much good information in here, so many great patterns. I have found Chantel's patterns to be super easy to knit as a beginning knitter or as an advanced knitter. There's something for everybody. So I got my copy right away. This came out last week, and it's so good. It's also so cool to see a designer that I've been following for a very long time be able to put something like this out finally after years and years of hard work. Yeah, I've knit so many of her patterns. I've test knit for so many of them. I was looking back on my Instagram and I found a couple of these pictures, and my first Knititude pattern, Hugger Bolero, back in 2017. And if you'll notice in that photo, I was using the same mug while I was working on it. That's why I thought that was funny. I did not plan that. I just was looking back and I was like, that's the mug my coffee's in today. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I have made so many of Chantel's patterns. They are fantastic. I love them. I look forward to seeing what else that she has to offer. But my duster I made out of Encore tweed. I need to look back. I don't remember off the top of my head how much yarn I used, but it's really nice because it knit up so fast. It's a raglan construction, and you're knitting on a 10 or 10.5 depending on what part of the pattern you're in, and it flew off my needles. And it's so good. It's so cozy. It's great. On a day like today, we had our first snowfall here in West Michigan, so it feels like extra chilly right now. All right, let's get into what else I've been working on. I realized I kind of skipped October, so this is kind of what I worked on in the latter half of September and October. I feel like there's not a ton. There is, but there's not. So first off, since we're close to Christmas, I'm gonna pull these guys out. These two have been done. Mine and my husband's have been done for a while. And at my last update, I had not quite finished this one. I think I was like here. I was just about to start the heel turn. Oh yeah, there's my progress keeper. And now the stockings are all finished. Well, I say they're all finished. Only one has a hanger loop, so I need to add the hanger loop, but that will take me like 15 minutes. So they're gonna stay up here. I did put them down with my Christmas stuff, and then I pulled them out today. I was like, oh, I should probably add the hang tags real quick before I forget. But yes, our stockings are all done. I've talked about these at length before, but as a quick reminder, these are Pacific Knit Co. doodle packs. I combine the holiday doodles. I have all of them, so it's a combination of all of the holiday doodles and the fantasy doodle pack. So get these all in frame. I am so excited to put these up this year. Yes, there is one finished object for this episode. I also, in my last video, was talking about my Turkish Delight socks, and those are done. I'm so happy. They are done. They are blocked. I did not trim these ends. They are woven, but I did not trim them. So my Turkish Delight socks are done. I am so happy to have these off of my needles. The first sock was knit in 2023. Whole sock was done. I had not started sock number 2. So I was going to frog it, and I'm like, wait, I already have one sock done. It'll be less work to just knit the second sock. So I did in the month of September, August and September. So yeah, those are done. These are Little Wolf Knits. I believe it's Christmas in Hogsmeade. I have a lot left over, so I'll probably make some more socks out of this. And then I had a little bit left of the contrast. I did do the ribbing is a split rib, or a split the colors on the ribbing, and I think that's a really cool detail. I was watching a Crazy Sock Lady video, and she does that for a lot of her socks, and I really liked that, so I did that. And one of her tips is when you're transitioning colors to do one full knit round and then go back to the pattern, and then you don't have that color jog. So I think that worked out really well, and I really like these socks. And now that it's getting colder, I want to wear all of the knit socks all the time. So I'm going to add some more of those back into my rotation after they get washed, because I need to wash socks. Also feels like I'm trying to go fast. I just don't know how much time I'm going to have to record today, and I want to get through all of these projects that I have been working on. The next item is something you have not seen, and it is already at FO. So a couple weeks ago, my sister asked me to make hats for my niece and my nephew for Christmas. So I dug through my Emma's yarn. She specifically asked for wool. So I dug through my Emma's scrap bin and found these 4 colors. And 2 weeks ago on Sunday, I cast on this Musselburgh hat. And last week Sunday, I bound off. So I made the child size / adult small, and I made this on a DK weight. So I did it so the gray flips up with that speckle, and then it can flip around, and then it has the blue with the darker blue band. And I love that it's kind of 2 hats in one, and both of these band colors, as he gets older, he's only 3 right now, both of these band colors work with the side of the hat, so he could wear it uncuffed without the folded brim if he wanted to later. But I made this size because technically it's a little bit too big, but it also fit my daughter, who is 13 months old. It's a little big on her too, but this way he can use it for multiple years to come. Like I said, I did this out of Emma's Simply Spectacular DK, and I don't remember the colorways I used for this one, but I did do the whole thing on a size 3 2.75 millimeter needle. So I did a combination of double pointed and circulars for this, and I did a little bit of magic loop too before I borrowed a pair of DPNs from somebody. So yes, this is all done, and I did the whole thing in a week, which I think is pretty good. I still have to block it and wash it, but I'm gonna do that closer to Christmas so that it is nice and fresh for my nephew as a Christmas present. So there is, like I said, a completed hat. Kind of dive into some works in progress. I feel like there's not a lot, but there's a lot to show. So one of the things I talked about in my last video was caking up this gorgeous yarn for a pair of socks, which I did, and I actually made a decent amount of progress on sock number 1. I had been doing it on magic loop, but the half fisherman's rib, get this needle out of here, was kind of laddering weird in the half fisherman's rib, and this is turning out so good. I love these colors. I'm just concerned that my gauge might be slightly off, and I have not checked it, but also this small circumference with the half fisherman's rib was really bothering my wrist, so I had to take a small pause on this, but I'm hoping to get back to it soon. I may have to go back to magic loop and just deal with the laddering. I don't know. but I want to check my gauge again before I do that. And since this was a project for me that didn't really have a specific deadline, it kind of got pushed to the side because we are quickly approaching Christmas and I have all of the gifts that I want to make, and I do not have unlimited knitting time. So some of my projects are getting set aside just a little bit until after the holidays so I can work on a couple of gift knits, which I'm choosing to do. I'm choosing to do them, but they still need to get done because they have a slightly sooner deadline. But anyway, this is my nest sock so far. I love the half fisherman's rib. It is very stretchy, like very stretchy. I think they'll be fine. I just have my go-to sock sizes, and this is deviating from that, and I don't want to like get through the foot and like hate the fit of it. So this also needs a little bit of time for me to like figure out how I want to do that. But the half fisherman's rib is much easier than I thought, and it is in my little patchwork bag. So anyway, there is my nest sock. In my floral drawstring, my fall floral drawstring, is my tessellated, and you will see that this has had a ton of progress since my last project update video. A Whip Wednesday I posted, there was some progress, but there we are on my tessellated pullover. I have like, I'm pretty much to the halfway point if you include the ribbing until you get to the underarm, because this is a bottom up construction. That is an unhappy baby. So I'm about halfway there. I love this pattern, and this Malabrigo is absolutely gorgeous in this sweater. Again, this is one that's kind of gone on pause just a little bit while I work on a couple things with more looming deadlines. I probably will not have this done for Thanksgiving like I said I wanted to, but that's because I have a different sweater that I'm gonna wear for Thanksgiving, hopefully. So this one also feels like it goes so much slower because basically 1 inch is for a 4-row repeat, give or take a little bit, and the progress feels slower, especially when I compare it to one of my other projects. This one is on a US 4, and my other one is on a 6, and it just feels like it's going faster. So there is my tessellated so far, and I'm doing that, like I said, on Rios, this Inca mohair, and Barocco vintage. So my tessellated pullover so far. All right, just 3 more projects, which I feel like I do have way more on the needles, but this is just what I've been working on. I think one of my goals for next year is going to be try not to cast on anything new and finish up projects, because I just felt so good finishing projects. This is a new cast on since the last episode, and I just joined it to do in the body the other day. I actually have a progress keeper here, which I'll move this one now. The other day I was able to do like a whole inch on this. This is the Insh sweater by the Crea Bea. This one is in testing, so that is why I say it has a little bit more of a deadline, but I am like flying through this. It helps when you're only really working on one project at a time to make really good progress. So this is a saddle shoulder construction. So you start by making the saddles and then picking up along the front and the back, working those flat and then joining them in the round, and then picking up the sleeves because you have some live stitches here. You'll pick up the sleeves. So I decided I'm gonna go until I run out of either of these yarns, and then I think I'm gonna do the sleeves and the collar, and then I'll continue the body. I haven't decided I've not decided what color I want the collar to be yet. I'm leaning towards black, but maybe I'll wait and do that after the sleeves and the bottom so that I can have all my ribbings match. That would probably be a better idea. just because of the stripes. So I love the way this is working out. Like I said, this one is flying a lot faster because it is on a US 6 and it is DK, and my rows just feel faster. So this is what I've mostly been working on, if you cannot tell. And I made it much more difficult on myself by doing stripes, but really that was only a problem trying to figure out after I had done the back to pick up and have the stripes match on the front. I made it way more complicated. But like I said, this is the Insh sweater, and I'm doing it in DK weight, the Barocco Vintage DK in 2 colors, in this taupe and black. And that is in my clear project bag. My goal is to have this sweater done for Thanksgiving, because I feel like that with a pair of jeans is going to look so good and so classic for Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll wear it with a skirt. I don't know yet. I've not really thought through how I'm going to style it. I just know I want to wear that sweater on Thanksgiving. So I got a couple weeks. I think that's manageable. I've been making really good progress. I've been going on that one a lot. I think that's manageable. All right. My next, well, this is kind of a finished object / work in progress. We did a spin night at my local yarn store the other day, and I finished spinning all of this blue fiber. I don't remember any of the information about it, but I finished spinning this blue fiber. I actually had switched over and done the rest of it on this gorgeous spindle that I got this spring. It's Revolution Fibers. I got this from a yarn store during Yarn Quest, and finished spinning all of this blue fiber. So now I need to wind this onto a bobbin, and then I am going to start spinning this fine top gray merino. Sorry, there's some I picked up some fuzzies in my bag. So I have some fine merino top in this gray color. I'm planning to spin that, and then I just kind of did this rough ply. So I'm going to apply that with the blue and the gray together. I might do a 3-ply. It just depends on how much blue I have, because I don't remember how much blue there was. I don't remember. This is my first actual spin project, and I should have probably kept better notes on it, but I didn't. So hopefully that will be something I can share later, but that is in my Della Q snap bag. This is a perfect size bag for a spindle and some fiber. So I do have some more fiber related things, spinning related things on my Christmas list. One of them being a nitty naughty, and I'm gonna do a DIY Lazy Kate so I can ply these. And I have some cardboard tubes that I'm gonna cut down as bobbins. So anyway, there's my spinning project. I haven't pulled that out in months. I have a little helper that anytime I touch my yarn or come over here or open my computer or do anything, she's like, "Oh, Mom, what you doing?" So spinning is really hard when she's around because she's trying to grab all of the stuff. And last but not least for today, so if I keep looking down, it's because I have a new setup and I have my laptop down, or not my laptop, I have my iPad on the table, my camera's up there. I really should put my iPad next to my phone. I will work on that for the future. But last but not least today is in my sardine plover pouch. This is an acquisition / new cast on that I have not started yet. And I have this Malabrigo Rios. This color is not showing up, but this is the, oh shoot, what is the name of it? It's a cloud color. Curious Gray? I think it's Curious Gray. I'm making for my sister for Christmas. This is kind of a collaborative project because technically my sister and I don't buy each other presents. We always say we're not going to get each other anything, and then we always do something anyway. So this year, I asked my mom, I was like, hey, I was showing her my project board, and she was like, oh, I love the Sophie hood, or a similar knit hood, and she's getting more into wool fibers, and wants more all natural fibers, hence me making a wool hat for my nephew, and I'm gonna do one for my niece as well. And she saw the hood and she's like, ooh, that's pretty. So I showed her some different yarns, and of course she loved the Rios. So my mom bought the yarn for it, and I am knitting it for her. My sister knows about this because we kind of asked her, we're like, do you want a ready-made or do you want a DIY present? So she was thinking about making it, but she's like, no, you're making the other ones. This will feel more special. So I'm making it for her. I have not cast it on yet. My daughter ran away with my swatch. It's fine. I washed it. We're all good. Measured it and everything, but we're gonna start a Sophie hood in this beautiful blue gray. Hopefully I can get that cast on today. But from other people's videos on it, it goes fairly quick. So I'm hoping that that can be kind of a car project for me right now because it's a little bit smaller than this sweater. So I'm gonna get started on the Sophie hood next. And then once this hood is done, then I will start on the beloved bonnet. Because if there's enough left over, I'm going to make the bonnet out of the Malabrigo. Otherwise, I have a bag of MS scraps somewhere around here that I will make her hat out of. So anyway, that is everything I've been working on, at least from my last video. I don't think there was anything else that I started and finished, just that hat. So anyway, this is a pretty short one. It's a lot packed into a very short episode. But thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll be back in December for an update and show you where I'm at with gift knitting, and hopefully be in my Insh sweater too. So anyway, thank you for watching. We will see you next time, and happy knitting.